So Martin won 100, but everybody can win $10. How does that sound? Now, $10 today, remember, in 3 years might be $100, so it's a long-term hold that counts. Because guess what? $10 back in 2010, it's worth over $1 million now. So don't underestimate Bitcoin. Right, so this is going to be a pretty simple step, how to open your first wallet. But the most important thing is security. Proton Mail, it's encrypted, so you need to sign up for Proton Mail, or you could use a pay service. But Google, Gmail, I would not recommend using any of those. Now, unless you have like already a secure one, you could use that one. But anything crypto related, I would move directly to a different email. Right, so you can just sign up for the free account. When you go to sign up, it's half a gigabyte. You don't need much because with cryptos, it's very small data anyways. So it's also an app as well for both Android and iOS. Oh, all right. Now, this is the special URL if you want. Now, what's cool is with these websites, even with exchanges, you can give your friends and your family your link, and sometimes you'll get credited in the coins, or you'll get the amount of cash reward that they tell you. So if you want, you could save it for another link if you want. Now, you don't have to be 18 to sign up. It just means that you can't buy or trade, but you can still put a wallet. You can still put money into here. In other words, let's say I have a 14-year-old daughter I want to sign up for, right? I can sign her up. I just check everything, and I could put money into there, and then as she turns 18, she can verify, and then she could start withdrawing the funds and stuff like that. So it's great. That's why people love it. And then again, for the email, make sure you use that Proton if you can. For your password, very important. At least 12 capital, lowercase, special characters, numbers. Because the more passwords, the more letters and symbols you have, it usually takes about a year for that hacker to brute force crack that one special letter, and keeps going on. I think Bill Gates has like 56 for his. I don't know how he remembers it all, but he's Bill Gates. All right, then again, you go to your email. You just verify it. It's really that simple. Now, if you sign up on your phone, you have to use your phone. You can't go on your Windows by using your phone. It won't do anything because it's using the IP address. So again, verify the email. All right, and then this is also very important. It's the two-factor authentication. Someone thought that was the next Ripple, but it's not. It's 2FA. So you can download this for also Android, iOS, PC, or Mac. So it's going to give you like a barcode, and it's going to be 6 numbers. So I would save it and put it to your Proton Mail. Now, what's great about this is, like, for example, somebody hacks into your account and everything, your password, well, then they need an extra verification step to get into your wallet. So if they don't have this, it's almost physically impossible for them to get in because it's giving you double protection. Okay. So if you forgot to save it and stuff, you can email support, and usually they'll be very quick. Now, here's a trick for support. Usually they won't answer you back because there's just so many people signing up. So use Twitter. That's why Donald Trump uses Twitter. So you want to tag them, whoever they are. So add Coinbase. Hey, you haven't answered my support ticket in 6 months. And they'll answer you in 24 hours. It happens all the time. Right, and sign up with your phone number. Then they're going to give you like a 6-digit SMM. And then you put up that, and then you just verify your upload ID. Then we'll talk about the payment system in a few seconds. All right, so a couple ways to put money into your account. PayPal, you can only sell. So, plus I'm banned from PayPal, so I can't use it. All right, your bank account. So bank accounts are cool because it's a lower limit, lower fee. So you only have to pay 1.5%. That's if you're in America, that's for sure, I know. Maybe in another country, you might have to pay a little bit more. But 1.5%, and you get higher limits as well. Now, same with debit card. It's only 1.5%. Credit cards, it's about 3.5%. And usually it goes up to, depending on how you verify, about $15,000. Right. So here again, this is very important. So once you go to the security factor, step, you want to check always here. Right. Never check this. Check right here. Even if you withdraw $10 worth of Bitcoin, because what happens is once you get complacent, you don't realize that that 0.1 Bitcoin is now worth $1,000, and so forth. And then here's where you see enable authentication. Then you go through the step. Another app you can download is called Authy as well. I have both Authy and Google. Now Authy is only for Gemini, but if you have like other accounts, they will accept Authy as well. Okay, so this is where you buy and sell. Right, so you see how it says weekly bank limit, 5,000. So the more you buy, the more it increases. The average user has about 15,000 US dollars. So euros, it might be 14,500. Now, if you're going to be trading through your company, hedging or your fund, you could do, I believe, 150,000 grand or up to 1 million plus per day, which is a lot. And then it tells you right here, you can do it daily. So if you want to keep buying Bitcoin, I would not recommend do that. Here, remember, this is where you just buy on the market. And I'm going to show you how to get where you don't have to pay fees as well. Then it's going to tell you on the side how much fees you pay before you make the total transactions. Now, what I like to do when the market is very volatile, I'll just go back and forth every few seconds, and you're going to see the numbers change. And then you could save, let's say if you bought 5 Litecoin, you could eventually save $20 just by going back and forth. And it updates it on time. There's Bitcoin Cash on here now, but this was an older slide. Yeah, I wish Bitcoin was 2,500. That would be great. And to increase your limit, so if you click on the increase limit, it's going to tell you, hey, as a new user, you have to buy more coins or you have to wait 60 days. Right now, not just Coinbase, but Binance, Gemini, it's so congested, people have to wait at least 60 days just to increase their limits. That's why people are paying premium for this, because they know that the price is eventually just going to go up, so they don't want to keep waiting. All right. So this is the same app. I actually prefer Gemini over Coinbase, just because the fact that it's friendlier. This is where you do limit and stop orders. So here, for example, over here. Now, it's usually about $100 to $600 cheaper over here. Now, you could arbitrage that way, but it really depends because, say, for instance, you're only saving $100, but by the time you send it to Coinbase, the fees is going to cost you $50, and then by the time it gets there, it's already dropped. So you could have lost $50. So I don't recommend doing that. Now, if it's like $10,000, you can do it. So, for example, Kraken might sell Bitcoin for $10,000, but then Coinbase might sell it for $12,000. And if you have a large amount, you can do that. But if you have something small, you really don't need to do that. It's really a waste of time. Now, what's cool is Gemini, it's free to send your coins, whether it's Ethereum or Bitcoin, but there is a limit. So it will tell you, hey, you need to send 0.06 Bitcoin, which at the time could be $100, $200, but it is free. And if you don't have enough, it will tell you, hey, you need to send this amount. Yes, for what I understand, Gemini is available. It will tell you if you sign up, hey, it's not available for your country, and there's ways around that. Okay, so this is the cool part. This is the hardware wallet. So there's a rule in cryptocurrency. If you don't have a hardware wallet or your private keys, you don't own your cryptos, right? So this is, it's that small, it's like a keychain. This is called the treasure, and that's the ledger. This is about 10 euros more. Now, the advantages between each of the ones. Okay, so treasure has all ERC20 token platforms. So if you're really interested in ICOs, which I know a lot of you raise your hands for, I would recommend this one. Yet, it doesn't have a lot of regular cryptos. I believe there's only about 10 for just this one. They have another version that's way more expensive. All right, now the ledger, same as the treasure, Ledger is about 10 euros cheaper. It has more cryptos, yet it doesn't have all of the ERC20 tokens. So, but it also tells you also how much your fees are when you send it. And I can't remember which one, it might be both, but now you can customize your fees to how much you want to send, which is really cool. So an app called Blockfolio you can download, not Blockfolio, blockchain.info, you can customize your fees. So let's say Bitcoin, they want you to send $30 in fees. You can change that and only send $15. Now, it might take you twice as long, but if it's worth it, it's worth it. All right, so this is where we talk about public key versus private key. Now, it's very, very important because Coinbase, Gemini, most exchanges don't have the private keys. The only ones that have private keys are usually all hardware. You can use a cold storage, which is like a piece of paper, but for that, you have to keep it extra, extra secure as well. And some other free apps that I'm going to show you, you can get some as well. So how do you know the difference? Well, your public key has 32 characters. Your private key has 64. Oh, one more thing. Here. If you lose this, that's okay, because it's going to give you a 24-phrase password that you need to write down and probably store it in your Proton mail. Same with this. And it's going to give you a PIN. Yep. So it's okay if you lose this. That's why I always say, at least have 2. Now, you don't need these if you have like 500 euros in cryptos. If you're doing at least 2 grand or more, then you're going to need these. And there's no limit to these. From what I understand, you could put 100,000 Bitcoins in here. Because remember, everything's in the blockchain. So this is just to store it. Yep. And you don't, well, yes, you do need Wi-Fi. All right. Yep. The ledger, yes. Yeah. So this is the Jax wallet. So the website's called jax.io, or you can download the app itself. And this was created by Roger Ver and his team. So it's the same thing. It's kind of like the Treasure, but it's having it in your mobile phone instead. And here, you can do all the main coins, so like Bitcoin and stuff. Yes. Yeah, so the reason for that was you have to double check. I'm sorry to hear that. Was it like? Okay. The thing about that is sometimes there's a couple of things. Remember to, well, actually, I'm going to get onto that in the next slide. That's why. Okay, so I used this before. The only thing I don't like about it, it is high fees. But they do have a lot of wallets here that you could use. So you could use, I think there's about 30 cryptos on here right now. So this does both cryptos and ERC20 tokens. Now, the other one's called Mycelium. This is for Bitcoin only, and it does give you a private key as well. Right? So this is for long term, by the way, because they do charge a little bit higher fees. Now, the fees are really just based on how many people are using Bitcoin and transacting it at the moment. So you could see sometimes as much as 18% or as little as 1%. So it really just depends on where you're going at the moment. What's up? Oh, Jax, it does give you the private keys. That's a good thing about it. No. So again, you don't really, if you have like $500 or less on here, it's okay. But if we're talking like serious volume, this is just good to play with, just to show people, hey, this is real world applications that you can really use. But yeah, we're talking about serious trading volumes. I still have Jax just to show people. I still have coins on there that I still save for the long term. Okay, so here it is. Verify, never trust. So these are the ERC20 token platforms. You're going to see they're going to have a 0x in front of them. That means they're not Bitcoin or other cryptos because they're on a smart contract platform. And then the private keys will always be, they're not going to show you. And then you can print out the wallet. But if you print out the wallet, I would delete your history, delete the printer's history, and then save this because you never know who's going to go through it again. And it's very important because in blockchain, trust, you don't want to do anything off trust. It's always verifying because, remember, you never know. Just like the guy's best friend robbed him gunpoint for 1.5 million Ether. All right. All right, so this is where we get to the fun part. No fees when you're trading. Now, market means it's guaranteed, so you have to pay the fee. But that's a good thing sometimes. Let's say the volume is moving so fast, right? And you got in, let's say, a minute before it went up $100. Look, you might have to pay $10 in fee, but you saved $90. Now, limit stop order, so right here, whether you buy or sell, if you put in a limit order and it fails, you don't have to pay the fees. So I saved anywhere from about $1,000 to $2,000 so far, just off on fees alone. And then, again, it doesn't guarantee you because you don't know it's going to get filled. So a trick that I like to use, it's called laddering in. So let's say I wanted to buy Bitcoin at $10,000, right? Well, I think it's going to be at $10,000. So I would put a limit order at 10,500, 10,000, and another one at around 9,700. Because what happens is, if you go in all in, right, and I put it at $11,000, and the price goes all the way to $9,700, well, I just missed my opportunity, and then vice versa. But at least I have 3 different stack orders. Some of them or all of them are going to get filled. So it's called average dollar cost. All right, and then same with exchanges. Certain exchanges will reward you with their coins. So like, for example, Binance fee. So if you use their coin, they will give you 50% off their exchange. And you can also use their referral link to give out to friends. So what's really cool is I get a bunch of different coins in my account. So let's say your friend wants to buy 100 Ethereum, which is a lot, right? So what Binance does is they charge them a fee. So let's say it costs them 1 Ethereum to buy 100 Ethereum. So Binance is going to give me 0.5 Ethereum just because my friend bought 100 Ethereum based off the commission fee. So if you get logged into your Binance account and you see like 100 different coins, that's probably that's why, and that's what's going to happen. So a lot of coins, a lot of exchanges doing this, like KuCoin, BitShare, and you're going to see more and more. And what's neat is Binance and a lot more exchanges, you don't need to verify again, right? So usually they have a withdrawal limit. So this person isn't verified, but they can draw up to 2 Bitcoin per day, which today is about $25,000. But down the road, that could be $100,000 or 200,000 euros. So it really just depends. If you get verified, you can do up to 100 Bitcoin per day. And if you want to, that's where you have to usually show your passport. So if you don't want your privacy to get out on the internet, that's fine. Right now, Binance is very hard to get in. They usually have about a 20-minute window. I think it was last week, they had a 20-minute window, 240,000 new people signed up, and they had to close. Bittrex, not allowing anybody to sign up, and people are selling their accounts now to others for like 50,000 euros. That's a no-no. It's a huge no-no, because what happens is now each certain country has tax purposes, right? So let's say, for example, I sold my Bittrex account for $50,000, and they use my Bittrex account. Guess what? I'm still penalized under the tax law because they use my account. And they can withdraw each time they want, and I have to pay their taxes. So really, you're not getting anything back in return if you sell your account. All right, another way to get free coins, it's called staking. So like proof of work, which is mining, POS is called proof of staking. So for example, NEO, the Chinese equivalent of Ethereum. So with NEO, you would just get a special wallet, which is called the Neon wallet. You just transfer your NEO over here. It depends how much you put. The more you put, of course, the more it stakes for it. And then you claim it at the end. So gas is pretty much essentially used to power NEO. So right now, gas is about half of what NEO is worth. Sometimes it goes higher. It's very rare. So like if you have like 1,000 NEOs, you're going to be doing really good with gas as well. And then you could use that gas, transfer it back to NEO, and just keep repeating the process over and over. And then there's some other ones called having a master node, because each crypto runs off of nodes, and then there's the master node, like the king node, right, that pretty much makes sure and verifies all the other nodes are good. Like a Dash master node right now is probably the most valuable one. It's about 400,000 US dollars for one master node, but imagine getting 12,000 every single month just from that. And a lot of people got the master nodes when it was only $10,000. All right, so just some recap. Remember, Proton Mail. There are some other ones out there, but Proton Mail, after doing my research, is the best one. It's the most recommended one. Plus, it's also free. It's made in Switzerland. I believe it's 256 encrypted, 2FA. Now, you don't even have to just have 2FA for just your cryptos. You could have it for anything. You can have it for your other emails. You can have it for your other accounts. Hardware wallet. Make sure you have the private key, though, right? If you don't have a lot of money into it, you don't need a wallet key. You don't need a hardware wallet because they do get a little bit expensive. To me personally, I believe they're a little bit scammy because for 100 euros, that's a little bit much. But it's the security that matters, right? So like if you have 1,000 Bitcoin, 100 euros isn't that bad. And then no fees on GDAX based on the limit or the stop order. Or if you want, you could just use the market and save yourself that way if you don't feel messing with it and getting at the guaranteed price. And then lower fees with other exchanges using their coins. So some other ones that are coming up are KuCoin, Upcoin, and you're going to see more and more. So remember that news article I gave you, Cointelegraph.com? They usually list a lot of the new exchanges that comes up. And right now, a lot of exchanges need new users. So they're rewarding people just $500 in credit to use for their exchange, which is great because over the long run, if it costs you $2, that's 250 free trades. Like in the stock, when I signed up for E-Trade or Scott, it cost me $6 minimum per trade. Whether I sold one stock for $1 or one stock for $100. And then staking. Staking is a good way if you want to hold on to your coins for the long term and see it get rewarded. All right, and that's it.